Hi, I'm Nathan Peterson, licensed clinician and OCD specialist. This one compulsion is very common, and most don't even know they're doing it. I often talk about sneaky compulsions. These compulsions come in so many different forms. If you don't know what a compulsion is, it is the thought, behavior, or action that you might be doing to attempt to gain certainty, feel better from this fear, and maybe even reduce this anxiety. So instead of making you wait, here's the compulsion I'm talking about: telling your OCD story. Now don't get me wrong, there are many times in your life where you might need to tell your OCD story or your experiences to somebody. You go through the thoughts, through the feelings. They tell an experience daily, whether it be on forums, groups, or their loved ones. It seems so innocent to do so, but let me share with you why this can be dangerous in taking this path. What ends up happening is that the individual that suffers with OCD shares the same story over and over and over again. Maybe in different formats, maybe in different ways, but they're looking for a reaction. They're looking to see how you're gonna respond. They're even confessing something. And when I mean story, I mean they're sharing their experiences they had. I let my kids go out without sunscreen today, but they're not really saying I let my kids go out without sunscreen today. They're saying I'm freaking out because I let my kid go outside without sunscreen, and I'm seeing your reaction to see how you are gonna respond to that. Oh, it wasn't a very hot day today. Oh, the sun was covered by the clouds. Don't worry about it. They're wanting a response. They're not just telling a story. They're looking for something. It might seem innocent, but sometimes it's not. They are sharing an intrusive thought that came their way, a feeling that they have. Essentially, they are confessing their thoughts. Sometimes they're not necessarily looking for reassurance. Instead, they're just simply sharing what they're going through, which is fine, but that also says, I feel better for confessing this thing. But here's the tricky part. Maybe they don't even know they're doing this, but they are receiving reassurances from people even just by a look, by a glance, by a smile, by a frown. See if that person freaked out or not by the thing they just said. That person may give them reassurance head on. If this person doesn't freak out by this thing that I'm about to tell them, I know I'm not crazy. It's a roundabout way of receiving reassurance. We're taught our whole life to share our experiences, but when it comes to intrusive thoughts and obsessions, individuals want this verification and clarity that they are okay. They want this support. This doesn't mean you can't ever share an experience that you're having with OCD, but let me show you how you can tell if this is going to be a compulsion for you or not. And I'm going to share that with you after I talk about the sponsor of this video. The No OCD app can help you on your journey. They offer affordable, real therapy right on your device. For those looking for effective treatment, head over to www.treatmyocd.com. So here's what you can do. So you can't tell if what you are doing when you're sharing your story is a compulsion or not. See what happens if you don't share it. What do you feel? If you feel that overwhelming need to share, maybe you feel like you won't get better until you do. It may be a compulsion. Maybe try delaying it. If you're not waiting for your spouse to get home to tell them what you've gone through, it could be a compulsion. If you can wait 2 or 3 hours after they've already been home, see if you can wait a little bit longer. See what happens. If your loved one or support person has asked you to share, maybe you share. You may still have to evaluate and ask yourself, why am I telling this story right now? Why am I sharing my experience right now? Is it to gain support or is it to gain comfort and reassurance? There are obviously instances where sharing your experience and story are important. Sharing to a therapist is great. Some may set up checkpoints, meaning they have certain times a day or week that is reasonable to share an experience with somebody. We only talk about this every Thursday at 7 p.m. But again, it's looking to see if this is going to hurt your OCD or help it. I would love if people changed from talking about their OCD experience to talking about treatment. Here is what I did today. I had this specific thought on the bus and I used this specific exposure with it. It is promoting treatment. That's what this is all about. It's not looking for reassurance. It's saying, I recognized I had some OCD moments and here's what I did about it. I had this intrusive thought while driving. Guess what? I kept driving. I didn't look in my rearview mirror. I didn't go back and check. I kept driving. It gives the story no power, no value, because you did something about it. You are proactive. Think about this the next time you want to share an experience or an intrusive thought with somebody. If you have a copy and paste story or experience that you were just sharing with people online, therapists, whoever, it's probably a compulsion. If you've been watching my other videos, we've learned that OCD is OCD. So to help with this process, as you're going through it, to not figure it out, shows us that it's all just fluff. The story tends to be fluff. It doesn't matter as much as you might think it does. It just may mean that you're having some error messages sent your way and you don't need to pay attention to them. So to help build a stronger muscle to stop these compulsions, go watch the video where I talk about these simple tricks to stop these compulsions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.